How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm an avid herpetologist, and today we'll be mixing things up yet again, and I'll be trying something I have never tried before, and that is competitive Pokemon. Now, we're not talking about the trading card game, friends. No. Today we're going to actually be taking my first foray into the world of VGC, which for those who aren't aware, is competitive double battles for the main series Pokemon games. Now, I've kept up with the main series Pokemon games since Generation 1. I still have memories of getting a Game Boy Color and the original Pokemon Red version for my birthday when I was just a youngin'. But recently I came across a YouTube channel called Wolfie VGC, a professional Pokemon player and former world champion who does content around his own experiences in the competitive scene. His content is honestly really entertaining, and if you are at all interested in seeing what competitive Pokemon looks like, I highly recommend checking him out. But watching his videos, I found myself thinking something I often find myself thinking when I see a new game. This looks kind of fun, and I want to try it. Now granted, in no game that I have ever played have I built a team that was meta strictly for the purposes of doing well. Instead, what I'm planning to do here is just build a team of some of my favorite Pokemon and just kind of see what I can get the team to do. My criteria for the team is pretty straightforward. I will not be including any Pokemon strictly because they are competitive. So while Pokemon like Incineroar and Rillaboom might be some of the best Pokemon competitively, mammalian Pokemon aren't really my thing, and to be completely honest, apes are like one of very few animals I actively have a distaste for. They're way too smart and way too strong, I'm sorry. Now there is a single exception on my team, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, but for rule number 2, I want to keep my team strictly to Pokemon with identifiable animal inspirations. Now, this is mostly just for kicks and giggles, but honestly, just in general, I do tend to enjoy Pokemon with animal inspirations more so than the humanoid ones. And keeping with this theme, I'm going to be naming all of my Pokemon after the animals they were inspired from. Thirdly, I do want to try to get at least some wins out of today's video, so I will be sticking to Pokemon with at least some level of competitive viability. While I do genuinely love all 6 of the Pokemon on my team, Feraligatr and Sceptile are my favorite Pokemon of all time, but aren't necessarily the best competitively. So while I may feature them in a future video if this one does well, for this particular video this is going to be my first attempt at competitive Pokemon, so I'm going to stick with a team that is at least somewhat cohesive and lets me assemble a strategy that I can at least try to do well with. With those criteria in place, let's get into the team comp. Starting with one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Gyarados. Gyarados is easily my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. He's actually a pretty strong Pokemon on his own, so it seemed like a good place to start. Now initially, my reptile Oonga Boonga brain wanted to build an offensive sweeper Gyarados, but when I tried testing some earlier variations of the team, I realized I needed to think a bit more outside of the box. So I'll be starting today's comp with a build that immediately goes against my natural instincts. We're going to be making support Gyarados. Gyarados has access to Intimidate, considered one of the most broken abilities of all time because it immediately lowers the attack of both opposing Pokemon just by joining the fight. Obviously, this is perfect for a Gyarados looking to support the team. Next, let's discuss Terra type. Now, if you haven't kept up with modern Pokemon, starting with X and Y, each generation has introduced a competitive gimmick. This really started with Mega Evolution in Gen 6, continued with Z-moves in Generation 7, Dynamaxing in Generation 8, and finally we have Terastallization in Generation 9. The short of it is that once per battle, you can Terastallize one of your Pokemon, which crystallizes them, and gives them this stupid looking hat, and changes their type to whatever preset Terra type you gave your Pokemon before the battle. This will remove whatever typing the Pokemon had prior, and turn them into a pure typing of whatever Terra you chose. Not only that, but any moves your Pokemon uses of their given Terra type also gain a power boost in addition to the same type attack bonus they already get. Terra can be used both offensively to make blowout moves even stronger, or defensively to help rebuff attacks at a moment's notice if you can catch your opponent off guard. For Gyarados, I've opted to give it Terra type Ground. You see, Gyarados really only has 2 weaknesses, being 2 times weak to Rock and 4 times weak to Electric. Changing Gyarados to a ground type not only lets it resist rock type damage, but it becomes completely immune to electric type attacks, which could completely flip the script if I time it right. Now for the moveset. One of the reasons Gyarados can support decently well is it has access to an extremely deep move pool. To start off, we're going to be using Thunder Wave to paralyze potential sweepers and help give me some useful speed control. Helping Hand gets an inclusion as well to help power up attacks used by its partner, and Icy Wind is great, letting me hit both opposing Pokemon for some chip damage and reducing their speed. And finally, Waterfall for its ability to actually punch in for some meaningful hits when I need to. Lastly, the item I'm giving Gyarados is Covert Cloak. I'd rather Gyarados not get bullied by Fake Out if I want to lead with it and get some early interruptions, so here we are. Now for a name. Gyarados is largely inspired by a myth about a fish that climbs a waterfall and becomes a dragon, but that doesn't mean it lacks any real-world lookalikes. The inspiration I'm choosing to name him after is the Viperfish, a deep-sea predator with a similarly spooky-looking face. Now technically Huntail is a better example of a Viperfish, but this is my show, so sue me. Anyway, the scientific name for the Viperfish family is Chauleotis, and so I shall call my Gyarados. Next up is another Pokemon that sits on my personal team of 6 favorites, Garchomp. Garchomp is a Pokemon that has long been a competitive staple, and understandably so. It has some pretty bonkers stats, excellent abilities, and a diverse move pool. I want Garchomp to be my primary offensive threat, and thanks to another member of the team, I decided to go with Sandveil for his ability. For the Terra type, I went with Steel. Garchomp has 3 primary weaknesses to Ice, Fairy, and other Dragon types, all of which are resisted by Steel, which will hopefully mean I can soak up some damage if the opponent doesn't get a good read. I'm only running 2 offensive moves on Garchomp, the first being Earthquake, which probably needs no explanation. The second, though, is Iron Head. Not only does Steel resist all 3 of the aforementioned weaknesses, it also hits 2 of them back for super effective damage. So the hope is that if an opponent thinks they're safe and have the type advantage, I can flip the script completely. The third move is Swords Dance. Since I'm running with a speed nature and fully invested speed and attack IVs, a single Swords Dance out of the gate should hopefully be enough to let us pick up some simple KOs. And the final move I chose to include over a third coverage option is Protect. Protect is a move most people who play Pokemon casually likely have never touched, but the strength this move can have in double battles really can't be overstated. Wrapping things up with the item, I went with Clear Amulet to make sure that Intimidate users can't slow my Landshark down and the sweeping can continue. Finally, for the name, I've gone with Sphyrna, which is the Latin name for the shark family containing hammerhead sharks. On to our next teammate, I chose Tyranitar. Now, anyone who knows me won't be surprised by this pick either. T-Tar is another competitive threat who's been around since Gen 2, and has a lot of traits I was pretty excited to add to my team comp. Obviously, we're going to be utilizing the Sandstream ability, which whips up a sandstorm as soon as Tyranitar enters the field, which helps us both boost our defensive power and turn on Garchomp's Sandveil. It also has the vital, debatably more important role of interrupting our opponent's own weather setups, being able to turn off rain or sun if we come against those respective archetypes. Now, much like Garchomp, I wanted to use a Terra type that could pull double duty as both an offensive and defensive tool, so the obvious choice was Flying. Not only does this remove Tyranitar's 4x weakness to fighting moves, it also negates his weakness to ground, and lets Tyranitar play alongside Garchomp's Earthquake a lot more safely. For moves, I started with Rock Slide, which is an obvious inclusion for excellent spread damage and a good flinch chance. We have Knock Off, which gives us some good Dark-type damage with the added utility of removing troublesome items, and Terra Blast, which as mentioned lets us use our Flying-type Terra to hit opposing grass types like Rillaboom, Whimsicott, and Amoonguss for super effective damage. Finally, to tie the set together, we're bringing back Protect, which is going to be vitally important if we don't want Tyranitar to get liquefied by Garchomp's Earthquake if we already used up our Terra. Now I'm going to be giving Tyranitar a Focus Sash for the item, which will hopefully make sure that even if he takes a powerful fighting move to the face, he can stick around long enough to fire back a powerful retaliatory move, potentially boosted off of Helping Hand from one of my support Pokemon. Now, obviously we're going to be naming Tyranitar after a dinosaur, and while Tyrannosaurus is probably what you're expecting, T-Tar is clearly not a Tyrannosaur, having 3 digits on his hands and massive back spines. While no dinosaur is a perfect match for these features, I'm choosing to go with Giganoto, short for Giganotosaurus. Considered the largest land-dwelling predator to ever live, Giganotosaurus was a prehistoric terror, and if you caught the latest Jurassic World movie, you might recall that they made the aesthetic choice to give him tall back spines as well, so that's what we're going with. Next up is a more recent favorite of mine, Corviknight. Now this guy might be one of the coolest flying types ever made, and I really wanted to find a good spot for him on my team. He plays well under Sandstorm since his Steel typing prevents him from getting chipped down by the weather, and his Mirror Armor ability is yet another tool to bounce off potential Intimidate control since it reflects any stat drops back at the opponent. I kept the Terra type pretty simple here and went with Flying, since it matches the main offensive move that I plan to run on Corviknight, which of course is Brave Bird. This move is honestly just kinda crazy, and even without any offensive EV investment, hits like a truck. But to make sure it hits even harder, I also gave him Bulk Up to boost his offensive and defensive traits, and Roost to heal back the recoil damage. For his final move, I was really between two choices. Now, originally I was considering Tailwind for the speed control, but since most other Tailwind setters can do so using Prankster, and because I'm going to have two different Icy Wind users to help slow things down anyways, I opted for a coverage move and instead went with Body Press, to take advantage of Corviknight's naturally high defensive stats and provide coverage against steel types. For items, I was considering a few options, but opted for the Citrus Berry, again to help mitigate the recoil damage I'm expecting to take from Brave Bird, and letting us use early bulk ups a little bit more safely. Now, if you saw my Corvids video, you know of course that Corviknight was loosely based on the Ravens of the London Tower, which based on everything I could find are common ravens, so his name shall be Corvus Corax. The 5th team slot went to Milotic, another Mon who just barely misses my personal team of 6, but is still one of my favorite Pokemon to use in-game. Now you may notice that up to this point my team has been all physical attackers, so I definitely needed to mix things up a bit while still keeping a tanky Pokemon that can have other utility. For these reasons I chose to omit the usual Marvel Scale ability and instead went with Competitive, which could potentially catch opponents off guard and give Milotic some solid late game potential, boosting its special attack by 2 stages anytime a stat is lowered. I kept the Terra type defensive again, with Grass covering both of Milotic's only weaknesses. For moves, you know we have to use Scald. It's a solid damage dealing move with a decent chance of inflicting burn, and the secondary offensive move I already alluded to is Icy Wind, for more spread damage, type coverage, and speed control. Recover is going to help Milotic play the grind game, and Protect, once again, keeps the opponent on their toes and helps to maximize the recovery benefits of Milotic's item, which is Leftovers. For Milotic's name, I went with Regalicus, the family name of her real-life inspiration, the Oarfish. They're honestly super cool, by the way, enormous deep-sea dwelling fish, and my Digimon fans will recognize this is the same name used for Regalicusmon, one of my favorite aquatic Digimon, so bonus points. And finally, tying the team together is the one mammalian Pokemon on the team, Mousehold. Now why is Mousehold here? Pretty simple, this one is my wife's favorite Pokemon, and coincidentally, just happens to fill a fantastic supporting role that I wanted for the team anyway. Now I'll be honest, when I first saw this little guy in Scarlet and Violet, I wrote it off as another cute Pokemon that was really just meant to be dex filler, but boy was I wrong. Mousehold has the Friend Guard ability, which reduces damage dealt to its allies in battle, making my tanky threats even tankier. Terra Ghost is going to help protect Mousehold if I'm particularly worried about fake outs or fighting damage, and its first move is one of the best in all of competitive Pokemon, Follow Me. This move ensures that any single target move used on a given turn will get redirected right at this little nuclear rodent family. When they're not redirecting attacks, they can also provide a big damage buff thanks to Helping Hand, and once again I've added Protect, just in case the opponent gets tired of the shenanigans and wants the mice gone. And since I don't want any of my Pokemon to get completely shut down by Taunt, Super Fang rounds the moveset out to cut the HP of enemy tanks in half. Lastly, the Safety Goggles item will make sure that not only is Mousehold protected from Tyranitar's Sandstorm, but will also be serving as my hard counter to the popular disruptive threat, Amoonguss. Now, Mousehold's name was a little tricky, since most mice species don't actually have white fur naturally. Mousehold is largely based off of laboratory mice, including the fact that they, well, breed like crazy. And the most commonly seen laboratory mice are common house mice, so I went with the name Musculus. Well, you can't say I'm not committed to the bit, I guess. Anyways, with the roster set, the only thing left to do is hop on the ranked ladder and see how things go. I got the chance to play some practice games to get myself familiar with the team and a little more comfortable with 2v2 battles in general, so with that out of the way, let's get into it and see what happens. Alright, let's give this a try. So we're going to be doing ranked battles for the first time. I vaguely understand how the leveling up in this game works. Win a battle, you go up in rank. Okay, so it looks like we have a ball mastery here. Okay. So we're currently in what's called Regulation H, which basically just means there are no legendary Pokemon allowed, which I am perfectly fine with. I don't really like using legendaries, so it works fine for me. Alright, first official battle. We got Oranguru and Palmot. This is probably going to be pretty brutal. Alright, so I vaguely know what these two do. I know Oranguru has some gimmicky stuff involved with it, but we're just going to go ahead and go for the kill shot right away. Alright, Garchomp doing its job. I don't think that was intentional, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of new to this. I've never seen this kind of a pairing before, so like maybe there was supposed to be synergy there I don't know about. Couldn't honestly tell you. Just go ahead and clean these up. Alright, opponent's using their Terra on Ceruledge. Going for the Ghost type, so it won't be weak to the Waterfall or the Earthquake, but like, Ceruledge is still fragile. I can't imagine it still survives both of these. Down goes one. Down goes the other. Alright, well, looks like we're taking home a 4-0 on this first one. I'm way over-prepared. We didn't even really need to strategize. We're just kind of going brute force this first game, but clearly it's working. I'm sure it'll get harder as I level up. Earthquake go burr. Alright, well, starting off with 4-0. Love it. Honestly, in the practice games I was playing with this team, it's a lot of fun. I'm kind of hoping I'll get a little bit more challenged here. I don't expect to win all my games. Like I said, first game I knew was going to probably be pretty easy, starting at rank 1. And I guess we'll just kind of see where we go from here. Alright, so this is more of like what I was expecting. This looks like a relatively meta team here. Alright, how I predicted the lead is probably going to make a big difference. Whimsicott, Typhlosion. I kind of expected that, to be honest, so I'm guessing they're probably going with Sunny Day off of Prankster into Eruption would be my guess. Even if that's the case, like I feel like I'm not super worried about that. So we're just going to go for the Rock Slide here. Give the Helping Hand an extra boost. Yep, there's the Sunny Day, called that. And I'm guessing Eruption. There it is. Alright, both my guys resist this. Still hits like a truck, but we survived it, and we'll clap back with... There we go! Helping Hand boosted Rock Slide. Gotta love that. Alright, I'm kind of tempted to just go ahead and swap out Tyranitar and protect with Gyarados here. That way we can refresh our sand. Alright, so I'm thinking I may just go ahead and try to Icy Wind to get some damage in, maybe potentially take out the Whimsicott, and we'll swap out Tyranitar. I want to refresh the sand. We'll swap in Corviknight, which should resist whatever he tries to do with the Ursaluna. For the Tailwind. Boys, kind of expected that. Gyarados survives the hit. Back with Icy Wind. Lower that speed. Excellent. Alright, so Gyarados is probably going down. Let's go ahead and Helping Hand Body Press into the Ursaluna. Moonblast, take out the Gyarados. That's kind of what I figured was going to happen. That's exactly why I Helping Handed. So I knew we could act first. What does the Ursaluna do? Blood Moon. This is going to hurt. Will I survive it? I do survive it. Alright. Come on, body press. Over our citrus berry. Love to see it. Come on, body press, come on. Ooh, not quite enough. Okay, that's still okay though. Like, we're not in a terrible situation right now. Let's bring Tyranitar back out. He's not gonna be able to hit both of them. He's probably gonna prioritize Tyranitar, so we're just gonna go ahead and protect. Gonna try to body press and clean up the Ursaluna. I'm not super worried about Whimsicott. Like, I can literally knock that out with a light breeze from the Corviknight at any point. What I feel like he's going to do, because he can't Blood Moon me 2 times in a row. Yep, there's the Sunny Day. I'm okay with that. Take up a turn so that does nothing. Earth Power into the Protect. Good call. Body Pressure, clean it up. Perfect. Alright, 2 big threats down. So he's down to his last 2. We're in a good spot. Annihilate is last. That could be a problem, but if we Terra and then Brave Bird, we have 2 flying type attacks going into the Annihilate. I don't think he's Terra'd yet, so I have a feeling it's probably coming out here. Those dopey balloons on your head. Nice. The question is, will he Terra 2, or is he going to go down to the double flying hit? He doesn't. He goes for the beat up. Okay, so the beat up is going to superpower his punch, but it's going to be much weaker than normal. Rage Fists. Corviknight survives. Double Terra. Flying hits. Oh! Brave Bird connects! There we go! And all that's left is the Whimsicott. Whimsicott should not be able to pick up either of the kills here, and that should be it. Corviknight doesn't even die. And there goes the Tailwind. Oh my goodness. Yep, let's just go ahead and clean him up. We'll roost just in case he tries to go for the Tyranitar. There's the forfeit. Oh, that feels so good. That could have gone really, really poorly, and I feel like we made some good calls during that game, and we just got rewarded for it. Alright, well, we've officially reached rank 2 after that. This was a fruitful endeavor. Like, I'm already having a good time. I love the prediction aspect of this. I love that you kind of have to outplay your opponent. It's a much more dynamic game than I was expecting. I've played, like, singles in the past, but I haven't really dabbled in 2v2s, but I really like this format. This is neat. Alright, round 3. This is an unusual team. Very, very strange. Let me think here. So, let's Rotom Grass, right? I don't have any fire types, so dealing with the Corviknight and the Rotom is going to be kind of awkward. It does take neutral damage from flying. Takes good damage from ice, so I feel like definitely want to have Gyarados and or Milotic. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Alright, round 3. Let's see how we do. Slowking and Dragapult. Alright, I feel like there's probably a Draco Meteor coming, at the very least from the Dragapult. Let's direct it all to Musculus here, and we'll get off a Sword Stance. Alright, physical attack. Going for the Dragon Darts. I don't know why I didn't start with my thing up here, but there. Now you should be able to see the health bar. Alright. Now, Helping Hand. Go straight for that Earthquake. Household's going down, but hopefully we'll take 2 Pokemon with us. Probably should have just gone ahead and done another Follow Me, just in case Dragon Darts potentially kills me here. That might have been a misplay on my part. I know Dragapult's crazy fast. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I should have Terra'd. Alright, well. Alright, I guess it has to redirect one of them. Earthquake! And we get the triple KO. There we go. Come on, Garchomp. Bring it home. Oh, that is awesome. If I had Terra there, I'm not actually sure if that would have completely wiped the field like I would needed it to, so kind of probably a good thing. I want to make sure that both of those went down. Alright, there's the Rotom. And Inteleon. Ugh. Don't like that. Alrighty, how do we deal with these two? I kind of want to just get in some spread damage. Tyranitar getting the special defense buff is kind of nice, but there's a good chance that he could take a beefed up Leaf Storm from this Rotom, which isn't great. Maybe we just go ahead and Protect. I feel like they may not expect Protect off of Tyranitar, so we're going to Protect and just go straight for an Earthquake here. I know it's not going to hit the Rotom because of the Levitate, but we should still get good damage on Inteleon. And it'll at least give us an idea of what they're doing with their turn. One hit KO on the Inteleon. Perfect. Alright, with just Rotom left, I feel like there's not much of a chance. Yep, there's a Leaf Storm. Oh, he used it on Garchomp! Sand Veil made it too evasive. I feel like that's just game. Like, what do you even do after that? We're going to knock off, get rid of the item. We're going to Iron Head just because. Get some damage in. There's a Terra. What's he going with? Ghost! Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Well, knockoff would have one-shot that even if not for the Sand Veil. Sand Veil's too good. There's the cleanup again. Well, we lost Mousehold, but you know I also kind of killed the Mousehold myself, so you know it is what it is. That's another clean win. Had a Focus Sash, so perfect. Wouldn't have been able to one-shot it with the knockoff anyway. That's 3. That's 3. We're feeling good. Whew. All right. Well, this looks like a very standard team. Not really sure how this is gonna go. We'll do our best. Porygon 2 Primarina. Okay. So I know Primarina's probably just going to be spamming Hyper Voice, which is going to become a Water-type move because of the Liquid Voice, which means Garchomp can't really defend against it. The question is, what is Porygon 2 going to do? I think we need to just follow me, try to keep the Garchomp safe, and again, we'll just kind of see how this turn plays out. Swords Dance will deal neutral damage to Primarina, so hopefully a Swords Dance plus maybe a Helping Hand will be enough to take it out. Straight for the Terra. Terra Water. Terra Ghost. Why Terra Ghost? Well, he no longer gets Stab on the Hyper Voice. He won't get Terra boosted on the Hyper Voice. Friend Guard should definitely help keep Garchomp protected by any spread damage this turn. Okay. Ice Beam. Oh, thank goodness. Woo! That would have been bad. Alright. So we're going to Helping Hand. We're going to go ahead and Terra into our Steel type, and we're going to hit this Primarina as hard as we can. Garchomp will now resist the Ice Beam as long as we can survive the Hyper Voice. We should be okay. Protect. Alright, good. That's a wasted turn. Had no interest in hitting that this turn. Perfect. Move first. Iron Head. Nice. Clean pickup on the Primarina. Alright, so they got nothing out of that turn. No extra damage. Nothing. That was the best case scenario for us. Alright, so let's see what he's got in the back now. Incineroar. Alright, the Intimidate's not gonna work! No, sir! Let's just go for another Helping Hand. And an Earthquake. I strongly doubt either of these outspeeds Garchomp. So what's he sending in? I'm guessing Rillaboom. Clefable? Oh, you poor, poor man. Helping Hand. Here comes the Earthquake. Fake out. Oh, you stinker. Oh, that would have been bad. Alright, so... I'm just running it back. Screw it. I don't think the Clefable should be able to outspeed me or anything like that, so... I'm not super worried about what the Clefable wants to do. Jolly Chomp's just too quick. Follow Me's not going to work. Doesn't redirect spread damage. Let's go for the triple KO. Ooh, did not kill the Clefable. Brought it down to half only. Interesting. So now Porygon Z... Or no, okay, so now Porygon 2 comes back out. I feel like we just Iron Head these down now. It's got leftovers. That's fine. Porygon 2 is coming back out. Let's send in my Milotic. Just in case something squirrely happens, let's get some Icy Winds out there. Just try to slow him down so Corviknight can clean up. Some Icy Wind. We're going to go ahead and Iron Head the Clefable. Protect. Don't really mind that. Stalls for a turn. We'll see what the Porygon 2 does. Okay, does it connect on the Porygon? There we go. Good, good. A little bit of chip damage with a speed drop. That's really all I'm looking for. Oh! Okay, so I may not have seen that one coming. Alright. Well, I guess we'll pivot here. We're going to go ahead and Scald the Clefable, because I'm more worried about the Clefable than anything. We'll protect the Garchomp, because they're definitely going to prioritize that. Let's see if we can get a little bit of damage in. We can get a burn, that'll help mitigate the leftovers recovery. Air Blast into Protect. Thunderbolt. Also into Protect. Boy, they really want this Garchomp going down. Scald. Come on. Yes! Perfect. There's the burn. We're going to swap and hit the Porygon 2 this time. I'm not super worried about Clefable. I'm a little worried about... Okay. Air Blast. Sure, sure. It's not going to do a whole lot. Is he still going to go with Thunderbolt into Garchomp? Not enough. Scald on the Porygon 2. Iron Head on the Porygon 2. Man, this thing is tanky. Alright, I think we just wait out Trick Room here. There should only be 1 or 2 turns left. We can double protect this turn to try to wait it out. Or honestly, maybe we do just go ahead and use the Milotic. Send it into Clefable again. Protect with Garchomp. Okay, so yeah, I probably should have just gone ahead and protected with both just to ride out the Trick Room, but it's alright. Yeah, both of these hit like wet needles, I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so this should be the last turn for Trick Room. I don't want to run the risk of Corviknight coming out. So what we're going to do, once again, we're just going to Icy Wind. We're going to attempt to Iron Head the Clefable. Perfect. Alright, we'll see what Clefable does. Thunderbolt into Garchomp. Okay, takes Garchomp out. That's totally fine. Porygon 2 already has 1 speed drop from Icy Wind. Hopefully this will give Clefable a speed drop as well. Perfect. Just in time for the dimensions to return to normal. Send in Corviknight, and we will clean up. Scald the Clefable. Body press the Porygon 2. And call it a day. Protect on Clefable. That's fine. Oh, Body Press does not quite cut it. Gets to set up Trick Room again, but I feel like there's just no way. Like, how does he possibly kill both of these without losing these two extremely weak Pokemon? Alright, let's just go ahead and get some spread damage in, I guess. No reason not to, right? We'll attempt to Body Press the Porygon 2, just because, but... that definitely hurts. Ooh, critical hit. Yeah, that'll do it. Triggers the Citrus Berry. So regardless of what Porygon does, this should not kill Corviknight. It's neutral. Yeah, not worried about that. Body Press. Perfect. Icy Wind Cleanup. There it is. 4 for 4. Alright, well that should climb us up into the Pokeball tier. This is something I may come back to, because like I said, I'm actually having a good time with this. This is fun. It's kind of fun to try something different. This definitely looks like another Trick Room team, but Blaziken's kind of an odd man out in that regard. Ninetales and Blaziken lead? I'll admit I was not expecting that. It's not really a bad thing, though. So we immediately get priority on our Sandstream, getting rid of Snow Warning, so you won't be able to use the Aura Veil. I'm a little concerned with the Blaziken, so it's probably going to have fighting type moves, right? So we can Helping Hand and go for a Rock Slide. Or we can just Follow Me and try to play it a little safer. Right for the Terra. Terra Steel. Another. I mean, I guess it's resisting steel moves now, but Follow Me. I want to get one shot by Blaziken. Attack. Household takes it. That's totally fine. Bulk up. There's the Rock Slide. Alright, so I'm not going to deal quite as much as I was hoping for, but that's okay. I'm a little worried if I Terra, Tyranitar could get taken out by Blizzard, especially if he doubles into it. I don't think he's going to be able to, though. So if we'll just Follow Me, and we'll go from there. With your Ninetales, I'm fine with that. Into Sinistcha? That's actually kind of good for me. Hospitality, okay, so he gets to heal it, which is fine. But now we get to Terra our Tyranitar, send flying damage into Blaziken, who probably wasn't expecting, realistically. And if we do manage to take out this Blaziken, we also have flying type damage to hit the Sinistcha with. For another bulk up. He is really committing to that sweep. Wait too long. Buffeted by the Sandstorm. Really only take 2 more hits from that Sandstorm and the Blaziken should die on its own. Follow Me again. Let's go for a Rock Slide here. He's probably going to swap back into the Ninetales, would be my guess. Let's just go ahead... just in case he tries to switch. It's low enough now. Yeah, there's the Ninetales play. I figured as much. Well, he's not going to spread damage me, so like that's pretty much going to seal the fate for that Blaziken. So those bulk ups are not really going to do much. Ooh, okay, that could be a problem. I didn't even know Blaziken got Baton Pass. What's he going into? It's taking a knockoff to the face, whatever it is. Bombardier. That's going to resist knockoff too. Oh, that's bad. Alright, well at least we get rid of the item. Assault Vest. Yeah, that's a good item to get rid of. Let's Super Fang this thing. That thing is going to be incredibly tanky now. And let's Protect. Probably isn't expecting the Protect. I'm guessing we're going for another Blizzard and then some kind of a Rock Slide. Okay. Good call on the Protect. Is it going to take out the Mouse Hold? It doesn't. I actually didn't deal too much. I'm not too worried. Yeah, there's the Aura Veil. Figured as much. Chomp, chomp. What we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and swap into Melodic, I think. Oh no, shoot! Did I Helping Hand? Oh, you idiot. Oh, you idiot. I could have freaking Super Fanged the Bombardier again. That was a wasted Helping Hand. Oh, I'm so stupid. I got too lost in the sauce. I'm playing 40 chess with myself over here. Yeah. And here comes the Blizzard. That's okay, though. The Mouse Hold going down means I'm now able to get my Tyranitar back out. We take away their Blizzard, their Snow again. Once again, let's Protect. And let's go for an Icy Wind. I want to kind of bring their speed back down to my level as best I can. And I have a feeling they're still going to be focusing down Tyranitar. Interesting. Power Trips the Melodic. Yeah, there's Blizzard. Shocking. I mean, I feel like this thing... I can't have a choice item because it's already used Aura Veil. Alright, I think I probably fumbled this one. I think that Helping Hand probably sank me on this. Just try to get as much chip on this as we can. Didn't kill Tyranitar. That's good. Blizzard. This is Tyranitar. And the Corviknight. Yeah, without the Snow up, it's so unreliable. Oh, perfect. Come on, kill the Bombardier. Come on. This is huge. Oh my gosh, we got it. Alright, so Blaziken now comes back out, presumably. Or Sinistcha. Either way, like, that's such a huge tempo swing. We managed to get rid of the big boss. And we can Protect with Tyranitar this turn and just go ahead and finish off the Ninetales, honestly. Blaziken. Protect. Don't want to run any risk there. Brave Bird into Blaziken. If he switches into Sinistcha, it'll still go down. Just spamming that Blizzard. Avoid it again. It's only like 70% accurate. Flame Charge, that hurts, but it's not enough. Citrus Berry. Yes, we'll survive. There's the Brave Bird. Perfect. Problem is, he's definitely going to be able to launch another Blizzard before either of my things can move next turn. Puts me in a bit of a pickle. I think we need to just Terra Blast the Sinistcha and try to Roost. Roost is going to be what saves me here. Nope. Went for the surefire kill. That is unfortunate. Come on, Corviknight. Out of ball, that's gonna hurt. Oh, survived, but barely. Get off the Roost. Alright, one more turn of Roost here. I feel like Ninetales probably can't scratch my Corviknight, which means I just have to worry about Sinistcha. Yeah, what I figured. Oh, come on. Subsided. That's bad. All right. I feel like no matter what I go with here, I think I've got I think I've lost this. Oh man, this was totally my own fault. I was one attack behind on the Bombardier because I didn't Super Fang it. Alrighty. We try the Roost again, just hope for a miss. I don't think either of those moves can miss. I think we just need to Brave Bird. Brave Bird kills me though. Let's just go for a Roost and hope he messes up. Nasty plot. Okay. That's slightly less damage. Went for Scald. Gave me an out. Aura Veil wore off. Alright, let's go for the Brave Bird here. Another Nasty Plot, so as long as I can tank this, at least have a chance. Trying to get the burn off. Bird. Oh, nope, that's gonna seal it. Nope, I needed the one shot. Yep. GG, you got me. Yep. Good game. Good game. Yeah, definitely messed that one up. Don't want to blame but myself. Even had such a good matchup going into that final pairing too. Fumbled. Alright. Let's try one more. Kilowattrel and Dragonite lead? That's interesting. Alright. Definitely going to go with Follow Me here. I'm pretty sure there's a Tailwind in my future. I'm assuming this is probably just Extreme Speed Spam. We'll see if I'm right. If this is Extreme Speed Spam, I can literally just go ahead and tear out my Garchomp and not worry about it. Yep, there's the Tailwind. Outrage. Okay, so he's locked into Outrage now. One shot's the mouse hold. That's fine. Did its job. Let's go ahead and get Tyranitar out there and threaten some Rock Slides. Alright, we're definitely going to need to go ahead and tear the Garchomp, or else we're going to die to that Outrage. Go ahead and get an Iron Head in there. Thunderbolt. Shouldn't do too much. Oh, that dealt way more than I thought it would. Holy cow, these things are hitting hard. Critical hit too. Yeah, that's definitely gonna help. Alright, let's Iron Head. Very nice. If this connects, Rock Slide, come on! Oh, okay. Focus Sash. Almost had the double knockout. Even still, that is a fantastic turn. Oh, that's right, he gets hit with the Sandstorm! There we go. Send them both home. Perfect. Alright, what's he got in the back? And will I be able to deal with it? Amoonguss. Oh, crap. I no longer have my anti-Amoonguss weapon. That's not good. Let's... shoot. I want to wait out the Tailwind. Let's double protect here. Good news is I have Corviknight in the back, and Corviknight will demolish the Amoonguss if it comes out. But he still has his Terra. I'm assuming he's probably going to drop it here. So hopefully this will give me a chance to see what he does before I have to respond to it. No, doesn't Terra. Rage Powder. Okay, so he's going for the redirect. Yep, new Hyper Voice was coming. No surprise there. Problem is, it's probably a double knockout on the next turn, which is bad. Try to get some Rock Slides in there. We're gonna Iron Head the Primarina. Hopefully this works. Oh, that's right, he has Rage Powder. I mean, if we can take down the Amoonguss, like, I feel like Corviknight has at least a chance to be able to clean up the Primarina. Okay. Citrus Berry, yep. It's fine. Kills Garchomp, but Tyranitar gets off the Rock Slide, which should clean up the Amoonguss and dent the Primarina. Primarina should not be able to kill Corviknight in one hit. Makes sense. Oh, the critical hit. Fair's fair, you crit me with the Dragonite earlier. Alright, so Corviknight should... there goes the Tailwind. Even better. Perfect timing. Corviknight should be able to help clean this up. Should be the game. Protect here, just in case he tries to do something spicy. Bird. Oh, alright. Just a forfeit. Alrighty, so for 6 games played, we ended up going 5-1. Not too bad, considering this was my first real attempt at playing in ranked. Yeah, all considered, this was a good time. I will probably make another one of these videos. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is something that I will definitely enjoy returning to. Maybe with the same team. Maybe I mix it up. Don't really know yet, but this is fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night. Remember, I'm an avid herpetologist, and I will see you all next time.